Good morning everybody, welcome to Newcastle. Slightly earlier start so I can just get today's poll up, which if you bear with me that should be appearing on your screen, so that's all nice. Well, grateful if folks could confirm if they can see the poll. That'd be a great starter for 10, that'd be a great look, and if the sound levels are okay for you, much obliged. In the meantime, in the background there'll be a little bit of rustling away while I just swap power supplies over and so forth. Powering the laptop down. And powering something else up. Cycle of life. Right, I like to believe that's all good. So let's go back to the chat. Bottom up. Good morning Keith Cornell. Strength 5, loud and clear, beautiful. Thanks HGC. Thank you for the confirmation on the poll being up, and actually my personal apology for missing your Ko-fi donation live on Friday. And I picked it up with some prompting, but not great form. Anyway, by the by. So Gary Fleming, good morning to you my friend, sounds good for you, brilliant. I love it. HGC, the BEA emoji looks alright, doesn't it? Just need the plane to turn up. So Stephen Dawes, good morning to you. Jonathan McD, I'm going bottom up now, I'm in the zone. Puppy Team, how are you doing Puppy Team? I'm Mark, I don't know if we met before. Can't believe Keith Cornell cracking the whip on me. Get the show up on time. To be fair, it's the right thing to do. This Jet 2 is, I understand, off to Lanzarote. In fact, let me just come off that for the minute. The forecourt is just top heavy with Jet 2s out at the minute. Good morning Deborah Speller, big wave. Mary Brock, I don't know if you're back, but if you hear this, hi from me, how you doing? Nick Gray also got the BEA emoji going. It's going to be a treat when that turns up. Right, I think I've caught all you early birds up. Welcome to anybody else that is in the show that isn't in the chat. Please do drop into the chat though, it's lovely to say hi and all that. So, you know, as I say, I'm Mark for those who don't know me. Right, so we are Newcastle on Sunday rather than our usual Edinburgh, so a bit of a change of pace. As it goes, I just couldn't be out all day, which is what Edinburgh is for me, and I've got something else I need to do this afternoon that can't be shuffled. So I think on Friday I was talking about plan A and plan B. Well, I thought we were going to end up with no stream, and then I saw that there was enough continuity of action here at Newcastle and some interesting planes, and the rest is history, as they say. Ellis Buttick, hello to you Ellis. Happy Sunday. So we'll do a little bit more on shakers and movers in today's show. Grateful for that early like, of course. I know there's only a few of us in at the minute, but likes really do work for us on YouTube. Well, it works for everybody, it's just the way it is. Ian Finley, good morning to you sir, member for 13 months, and let's just see if the fireworks actually work. That would be a start. I think that's the only thing I've not tested that I can remember. That could be worrying, couldn't it? Ian Finley, thank you so much for your friendship and support. Right, let's see if that plane's got much further down the track. I suppose the only other thing that I always feel better when I've ticked off is when we've filmed a departure and I'm certain that I've allowed enough slack for my HDMI cable. I always have a kind of ballpark estimation, but it doesn't take much for the plug to get pulled out. They're not the tightest of connections. Good morning, Audrey McDonald. Tell you what, Audrey, you're going to have to come and join me down here, aren't you, on much warmer Sunday? That'd be good fun, wouldn't it? We've done Eshet. Let's add Newcastle to that. A little bit on the nippy side, as you'd expect, early March. So, as I see in the chat, and as we've put in our pre-show comms, everything's about the British Airways A319 in BEA special livery. I think it's a favourite with most regulars in the show, and I suspect irregulars too in that sense. It's a gorgeous looking plane, and for those of us of a certain vintage, it definitely takes us back to a different era. It's one of those few connecting links, if you think about it. Think about all the different types that have disappeared from the sky and all that malarkey. Of course, British European Airways, well, just seem to be loads of them. Tridents galore is my association. If you say my go-to BEA type, I always think of the Trident. But yeah. Well, actually, Viscounts as well. Now I muse on it. But yeah, it is nippy, puppy team, but it's a nice kind of nippy. It's kind where you don't really need gloves, I don't think, for streaming. So I bought my streaming gloves and they're in my pocket. Save getting on my nerves. I think as things warm up, I think the forecast last I looked is for a bright sunny morning. As you can see, we are runway 25. Therefore, planes arriving from behind the plane you are looking at, coming in over the North Sea coast, if this is your first time to Newcastle, and departing, just like this one, off to the west. That de-icer blowing off. Bit of lemon zest. Well, of course it isn't lemon zest, is it? But probably should be. Right, here we go. So that's 737-800 off to the certainly warmer climbs of Lanzarote. Another Jet 2 moving in. This is the Jet 2 phase of the show, I think. Have we got that? Ian Finley went on a couple of Tridents. I've been on in the cockpit out of hours. I've said many times because it always makes me feel quite proud. My grandfather on my father's side used to be a maintenance supervisor at BA, so one summer's evening we got to go airside and sit in the cockpits of a couple of Tridents and a TriStar. Concorde would have iced the cake, but he wasn't involved with Concorde, so that no leverage there. Oh, that's interesting, puppy team. You've answered a question, I think, and if anyone else knows the answer to this definitively, do sing up in the chat. Hold that thought. Good morning, Ash Watts. How are you doing? Loving the emoji check, man. Right, so I'm guessing this Eastern Airways Embraer 170 is Brighton's aircraft. It's generally football teams that seem to come on these extra Eastern Airways flights. So, okay, champion on that one. We'll be gone before the plane goes. So, plan is to finish, give or take, around 11:30. Emirates 777, when I checked at 4:30 this morning, was shaping for a slightly late arrival at 11:30. We'll definitely finish with that one. All right, Jet 2 going to Iceland. That'll be Reykjavik, will it? I'm thinking. Reykjavik it is. Never been, but I'd love to do it. Good to see Ash Watts. Good to see you, my friend. Are you doing anything nice today? Good morning, Canal Kurdistan. Puppy team, do you go regularly to watch Newcastle, or is it easier to get tickets because it's an FA Cup fixture? I know there was some controversy in the week, wasn't there, about ticket prices, FA Cup ticket prices. Was it Man United and West Ham, or Aston Villa? Aston Villa perhaps. No, it wasn't Aston Villa. I don't know. I know there was some controversy where they were saying the cheapest tickets were £52 or something. I thought, I hope that's not a children's price. Whereas when Eddie and I used to go and watch Leicester, we were season ticket holders. The FA Cup was never, or cup competitions, not part of the season ticket, but they always had some kind of promotion on in the earlier rounds. I don't know, kids for a £5. In fact, I remember the days when they've done kids for £1 before now. Just shows you they must have been dragging them in off the street. Kids for £1. Can't even get an ice cream for £1. So we're going to get an overfly, are we? No, it's going to hook round us, I think. Turkish have an A3, oh no, it's a 7879 Dreamliner on its way to the Windy City, that is Chicago. But that's going to be a bit to the northwest, northerly of us, and looking at the cloud cover, as you can see from the standing shot, pretty cloudy at the minute. Good morning, Terry the artist. How are you doing, my friend? You're on 09 watch today, as well as here. You see us blokes, well, some of you, not me so much, can multitask. There you go. And anyone that's seen Terry's photographic work, be it nature or planes, will know he's no mug punter. Excellent tell. Bit misty yesterday, was it not? Hoping that you've not got that today. So, exciting show really. I'm going to put the action highlights up in a minute. As you can see from the windsock, not much happening. I think that's supposed to be a southwesterly. Yesterday when I looked, I think that was what was forecast. I've been a bit blasé today. I thought wind is not going to be a factor. There's blow all chance of a, do you like the pun there? Blow all chance. No, I won't give up my day job if I had one. Stay away from the gags. Anyway. Blow all chance of a runway change or wind providing any particular drama. It's not going to be like last Sunday when we were hanging on for dear life at Edinburgh. Today it's just got a nip in the air, bit of bird song, as I hope you can hear in the background, and it's actually lovely. Peaceful. Peaceful with planes. Audrey, that is impressive. 100,000 miles. Was it Ian Finley who said on Friday his Renault Clio, you're in the show aren't you, Ian, got 120 just on the clock, 120k, and just passed its MOT, clear round and all that. Quality counts, that's clearly the thing, and if you look after your motor as well, there's also a chance that the odds are going to come for you. So let me just get the action highlight slide up for you very quickly. So as you can see on the screen, we've got a few interesting movements in today's show. So British Airways with the BEA special livery in at around 8:35. That's due back out again at 9:25, I believe. We've also got probably my plane of the day. I haven't voted yet though. The government Dassault FALCON 900LX or as it is designated in the RAF, who actually own the aircraft. Well, I'm not sure they own it outright or whether it's a long-term lease, but either which way it's theirs. It's an Envoy 4. So there you go, that sounds posher. Anybody know of any VIP movements into Newcastle today? I had a quick check on a couple of the Royal Movement type websites. Didn't get a hit there for today. And I suppose politicians are the other one. I don't know if we've got any ministers in the northeast today. But yeah, sing it in the chat if you know. So we've got that one in around 10 to 10. We've also got Enter Air, who I think folks will have seen at other airports, and Enter Air do come here, but rarely when I'm here. So that's a real bonus. I love the livery on the Enter Air. It's a beaut. So we've got that in from Bournemouth, and then it goes off to an airport that I can't pronounce from memory. Tricky one. So that'll be nice to see. So we get to see that in and out. And of course we've got the Emirates 777 and a bunch of other stuff. And of course here's our little plug for the poll. So I've kind of distilled it into what's likely to be 4 standout choices. For those of you who would have voted for the jet2.com livery, I can only apologise. Or for those of you who would like to vote Pegasus, it ain't an option, folks. Oh, I can hear myself getting loud on the mic there, getting excited. I'll try and be less excitable. Right, let's take that off. It should just be a turn and burn, and he's moving like he thinks it's a turn and burn. Good morning, Rab H and Nick Ray. How are you doing? Deborah Speller, good morning to you. I think we said good morning, but I'm celebrating your return to the PSA Crew Lounge. Great support, Debs. Much appreciated. Good morning, Janine K. How are you doing, Janine? And Giant Coin Stacks. Hello, my friend. Right. Can we do Deborah's fireworks? Let's try that first. Yeah. I thought I could sneak it in before the plane gets up. Have we made an honest woman of you, Deborah? We'll try not to corrupt you as the day goes on. As I say, I think flight plan, I don't just think I need to be away from here by lunchtime anyway. So looking at the way the planes run, about 11:30 we think we'll finish. That might be a crescendo finish with the Emirates if it's still running late. If it makes a bit of time up, then we'll perhaps have a slightly more orderly finish. Checking out some of that jet2.com emoji action. We've got both flavours in the show today. .com currently lined up on the active. HGC, Gary Fleming, Rab H and Janine K all smashing the button. There's another Jet2 being towed round to its gate. I'll stay with the plane that you're looking at, although there's a vehicle. Let's just zoom in on that. What we got? Not topping up the grit bin. Must have been a bit of something. I didn't see him carrying anything, but I'm thinking the pilot possibly saw something from that more elevated position. Good morning, Neil Macquarie. In fact, Neil and Gemma, hi to you both. More pleasant day at Edinburgh. I think it's probably going to be a more pleasant day in most places, perhaps in the UK today. Certainly for us in the northern half of the country. I've bought an umbrella. I kind of thought it ain't going to rain, and therefore it's going to rain. You know how my logic goes. Good morning, Gators 1970. Scaring a bird off the runway. They were getting pretty busy with that while I was setting up. Generally, I've thought recently that bird scaring has looked a little bit low wattage, certainly compared to the efforts we saw at Edinburgh the other day. So yeah, they were firing off shells and yeah, Rab. It could have been a vehicle recovery thing, couldn't it? Or got to give it a bit of a drag tow, get it up in the air. There we go, we're moving. Everybody's happy. So after a fairly lengthy delay, I think that was the plane we said was going to Reykjavik. Let's just get a nice Jet 2 front shot. I'm just going to take a picture of that. Shifty AM, how you doing, Shifty? Coming down to Newcastle to plane spot. Best place you can probably work out, Shifty, from, so I'm 07 side, so I don't know how you get in here, but I tend to park at Callerton Parkway, so far end 25, the nature reserve side, I'm the opposite end. But you could probably work out from where I'm panning the camera where I am. So if you do fancy coming by to say hello, feel free. Be nice to see you. Yeah, can you imagine, Puppy Team, if the government had got a 747? They've got a 330, haven't they? That's something else I've never seen in person. Never in the right place. 50 likes are up, says HGC. Peeler Fireworks, awesome teamwork team. Thank you so much. If you've yet to give us a like and give us a boost, please give us a go. And also have a go in the poll. So the main planes, or the main different planes in today's show, although the Emirates is a regular, but it's a heavy, so you kind of have to take that caveat. So that's what today's poll is all about. I would have put a fifth one saying none of the above, but you only have 4 choices with the YouTube poll, so kind of have to cut your cloth to what you've got. Right, next arrival to me looks to be an Aer Lingus regional operated by Emerald Airlines, ATR 72-600, as we are more than familiar with seeing at Newcastle and Edinburgh. That is just breaking out over Whitley Bay, ready to arc in over the North Sea coast, make landfall somewhere around Seaton Sluice. Going to be with us in 7 minutes according to flight radar. First turbo prop of the show. So if you like your props, you're in luck. Exactly what Puppy Team has said in the chat. Good morning, TAC. How are you keeping? Yeah, I think Audrey McDonald, I mean, for those members that are in the Facebook group, and if you're not, please, we'll put the link up later, but please do give it a spin if you're a Facebook person. Jack McAlpine, one of our members, was down here on Friday and captured a brilliant shot, or a few shots actually, of Turkish Air Force F-15s doing an overfly. Typical, really. I can't believe I wasn't here. Or they weren't in Edinburgh. That would have been better. Thanks, Rab. BEA 10 minutes out. I've just got it now on flight radar, just to the west of Sunderland. God, it looks good. It does look good. Cannot wait. And of course, we should get to see it go. The picture wasn't posted on the 9:25 departure today, but by logical deduction, I'm assuming that is the plane that is due to go out at 9:25. Paul's Gaming Hijinks, good morning to you. And yes, Puppy Team, exactly that, folks. Let's have a spamathon, a BEA spamathon. That'd be really neat. Well, the F-16s, Ash, sorry, I thought they were F-15s. Thanks for the correction. I would say I'm only one out. And all that involves. Yeah, no thanks, mate. I bet the sound was absolutely awesome. No, it's not restricted, Shifty. You'll be fine here, mate. It's a very commonly used spot. Very commonly used spot. I know what you mean where the bridge is. That's okay, but I think this is the one. This is the percentage bet. There's other little spots around, as you know, and I guess it depends what you're trying to do. So I guess if you're a stills photographer, you're probably going to look for the more niche spots that are going to give you that more unique and stunning angle. For a live streamer, or in fact for that matter a videographer, you kind of need to think about what's happening when something's not happening. So at the minute, obviously, I've got a plane in shot. If I was filming the other end of runway 25, I'd have beautiful countryside, a few horses, and not much of a view to share. So Gators 1970 has joined the PSA Crew Lounge. That is fantastic support, because obviously our membership supports the content. So if you're in the show and you're not a member and you're curious, if you click on that $sign, you don't buy it on clicking, but it tells you what you get. What we do is get the fireworks on to welcome a new member to the lounge. Excellent stuff. So here we go, Gators. Thank you very much. That's you piped into the PSA Crew Lounge. We'll put a clip out, a post out, a members post in the next couple of days. So we'll hopefully get the Facebook link up later in the chat. But either which way, I'll put a community post to members, and it'll have all that in, Gators. So if you are good with Facebook, you'll have to send us a friend request and we'll get you straight in the lounge. That'll be great. There's a question here. So Shifty, no, I've answered the question, my friend. It is not restricted. I can't nail it more than that. But do you need a chair to see over the bushes? No, not at all. You're kind of elevated, so you're going to get, if you stood somewhere near where I'm standing, you're going to get this kind of view. So, like I say, I think this is, personally, I think this is the percentage bet. Let's just give us a slightly different angle. Men at work and all that, or ladies at work for that matter. Very droll, Puppy Team. They would call it Charles Force One, wouldn't they? The media just love it. Yeah, definitely. I like that. Very good. Yeah, that'll be here soon as well. The oh, wait on, telescope moment possibly averted. So let's just get fizzy with the busy. When the BEA comes in, I'll probably just, well, I won't probably, I'll go quiet. I'm going to record it, I think. Take the clock off the screen and all that malarkey. So I can see the inbound ATR. It's probably not worth trying to grab it for the camera, but it's probably about 30 seconds away from that. It's what HGC says in the chat, 500 feet, and actually less by the time I've seen it. What we've got now, 350 according to flight radar. There it is. Just wait for the blinking to get in the right place so I can grab it. There we go, we'll take that. Definitely a better day to be an ATR pilot, isn't it, compared to last Sunday, the Wild West, or more accurately, Wild Edinburgh. Bread and butter. Still got to do it though, ain't you? Yeah, Shifty, that 777 really puts everything else here into scale context. It really does. Right, British Airways on final approach. BEA time. Members, get your spamming ready. I think we'll just track by with this prop while we build the suspense. BEA, BEA. Grab set the fuse going, good stuff. So the inbound plane departed Heathrow about 41 minutes ago, registered Golf Echo Uniform Papa Juliet. Firm favourite of aviation enthusiasts, not just in the UK, but I venture around the world. Still wait for BA to do the right thing and bring back the BOAC livery. Right, so there's your plane. I'm just going to make a couple of quick adjustments here, take the clock off. the aircraft will peel away left. It's been allocated its regular stand, stand 3, or British Airways is regular stand. Hope you enjoyed that, team. I can see a lot of BA spam. I'll catch that one up in a minute. Well done, everybody. Good morning, Michelle Johnson. I say you'll see, get my words out. Tell them excited. Hope you're doing well. Saw you in the chat somewhere. There should be the equivalent, you know, like in the UK, you can get buildings listed and all that malarkey, preservation type restrictions. There should be something that airlines can be served with, you know, preservation order on a particular livery. Commercial nonsense, of course, but emotively, as a aviation fan, it's definitely the way to go. Let me get a little bit more of the board. Don't want to chop out the logo. Let's just loaf there for the minute. Right, we'll try and catch up with the chat during that moment. So I've said hi to Michelle. Alexandra Wood, good morning to you, Alexandra. I hope you're doing well. No worries, the day is what the day is. I just hope you have a good one. That's the main thing. Checking out some of the spam then. Terry the Artist, Gary Fleming, Alexandra Wood, Rab H, HGC, Michelle Johnson, Puppy Team, HGC. Yeah, Shifty, what a beauty. Definitely what a beauty. Plane of the day, says Alexandra. I don't know. It would be for me 9 days out of 10. That Falcon is niggling away at me. Ah, loving the pun. Rab, what a beauty indeed. The word beauty could have been created for that pun, couldn't it? It should go out about 9:25 Shifty by my guess, but there wasn't, when I last checked, a photograph of the allocated aircraft, so it probably could be up for grabs. Plane of the day, says Michelle Johnson. Alexandra's got the block vote going as well, determined to get it over the line. Don't forget to cast your vote. She's a beauty, and we should get to see her go, which will make me a happy camper. She does look rather clean, doesn't she, Terry? Some of the 319s can look like they could do with a bit of a jet wash. That ain't one of them. Good morning, Andy P. How you keeping, buddy? Thanks, Rab, confirming that the 777 is due in at 11:33. So we'll probably go to close on that one pretty much. We'll get it at stand, finish the show around then, I think, just so I'm on my marks to get on with the second part of the day. Puppy Team says, what if Jet 2 had a retro? Do you know what? I'm going to expose my ignorance. What was Jet 2's original livery? Don't know the answer to that question, but yeah, a good retro is a great marketing tool. It's a bit like, you know what I'm going to say next, folks, put Britannia on that baby and it's a different plane, isn't it? That would be pure class. And the weird thing is, when you go overseas, you see it a lot at Frankfurt, you know, sort of chewy Holland and Germany and so forth. They seem to have more special liveries. UK Chewy, it's that. Which, when the paint's fresh and looks good, it's great. When the paint's looking a bit jaded and faded, it's much less good. Enter Air, I'm not sure what Enter Air is doing here today. It looks like a charter to me. I don't know, I've not noticed them yet in 2025 here. So, I'm not sure. I think the flight in from Bournemouth, I'm guessing Enter have a hub at Bournemouth, and therefore the inbound is a positioning flight. But that's sort of, I'd committed to doing this show, and that was a bonus. That's the best way of putting it. It's nice when you find something on top of what is already a bonus. What year was the beauty that we look at made? Let's see if that's answered in the chat, sea level, before I go. Thank you, Rab H. 2000. So, you know, it's quite old. And actually, it was stood for maintenance, I think it was, at Madrid Airport this time last year, I think. Because when Eddie and I streamed from Madrid, the aircraft was there. We never got to see it. And I kind of wondered what its future role was going to be. So it's good that it's back with us. Of course, what's happening with the A319 in the medium to longer term, I mean, obviously these are older variants, the CO, and yeah, more expensive to run. Always interesting, isn't it, that the A319 is also available as a Neo, and yet it doesn't really sell. I think most of the examples of the A319 Neo being operated in China. This shows you, trying to predict what aircraft make the most commercial sense. You know, it's an energetic market. If you're taking the punt on the Max 10, for example, you're probably wondering if you'll be drawing your pension before you get to flying one. Good to read, Andy P. Good to read, my friend. I'm keeping spot on, mate. Having a good day today, which is always it's a plus, isn't it? Especially at 59. Yeah, Alexandra, 9 days out of 10, the Falcon will be a win. There is something, you can't get away from it, can you? This beautiful, playing on that pun that Rab used earlier, that just, instead of 59 years of age, I feel 7 years of age when I see that. Oh baby, very good. And of course they had that Union Jack iteration, didn't they? Let me just rotate the shot just to convince people the screen hasn't actually frozen. So Puppy Team's uncle flew on the BEA Retro, that one. I must admit, if I thought I could be certain of flying on that to Heathrow, I'd rather like to do that too, but the odds just don't favour. I don't know how many times I've scheduled a show thinking I've got something special that's been deployed to the route, and then it's been undeployed from the route, so you've created a new thumbnail or something with this super plane on, and then it changes again. Good morning, Mark Pride. How you doing, my friend? Catch you later, Alexandra Wood. Big wave from Mark. You take care. Yeah, this plane, looking at Nick Gray's comment, they work them hard, don't they? It's almost like that. I'm not going to sing it, just going to say it. London, Paris, New York, Munich. And you substitute the words for London, Dusseldorf, London, Dublin. Probably doesn't work too many Londons in there. Anyway, it's working hard. No Sundays off. Senseless Dusts, Teams and Planes. Hello, Trains and Planes, sorry. How can you vote in the poll? You should be able to see it on your screen, my friend. You should be able to see it on the screen. can folks confirm in the chat they can see it? They could at the start of the show, but I fear that it might not be as we'd set out, so it might be one we have to chalk off. But grateful to the chat if you could confirm you can see the bowl, that'd be great. Good morning, Sue Major. How you doing, Sue? Happy Sunday. And hi to Stuart Gallagher. Hope you're keeping well. Mark Carden is with us, fantastic. So this is end to air. We were talking about that particular movement inbound from Bournemouth, the 737-800. It's going to, I can't pronounce this, Enonteco. It sounds like somewhere you might find in Finland. I don't know where it is. Folks, where is it? I meant to look this morning, but I decided I'd have a bit of toast as well as Weetabix before I went out the door, and the moment left me. Steve Beacow, 78. How are you doing, my friend? I don't know if you saw the message I'd put out in the community post, but grateful if you could drop me an email, buddy. I've got something for you. So at your leisure, I'll be at plane.sailing.aviation@gmail.com. Anyway, hope things are good with you. Yeah, Stuart Gallagher. I can't remember who gifted for you. There was a lot of generosity, Many of those friends are in the show this morning, and I don't want to take a guess on quite who got what. I think you get an email that tells you who gifted. If it doesn't tell you who, then that's really sloppy from YouTube. But who knows? I always put it into a community post. So, Stuart, if you go on to, don't close this tab, of course, but if you go onto posts, there's a members post. Actually, no, that might not be the case. Well, it might be. If you were gifted, yes, you mentioned the Windy show, didn't you? So there should be a community post, and in there I've got all the new members, and it tells you who gifted who. So there's a good chance that your benefactor is actually in this show, to be honest. Good morning, Hazel Kitchen. How are you doing? Thank you, Rab. Poll is there. It's that dread that somehow it's up and now it's down. We've all had experience of that one. It was definitely up, but the wild west of YouTube can just catch you out. Thank you, Mark Pride. Seen it and voted. Dare I ask how you voted? So let's have a look. 83 likes. Awesome support, folks. If you've just joined the show, grateful if you could help get us north of 100. It's entirely free, of course, but it really does help us get promoted. Obviously, aviation live streaming is a Wild West competitive type thing, and YouTube just tend to drive past the smaller channels in promotion of the bigger channels. Right, what's happening here? I'm just having a look at the flight radar situation, because I was expecting something in about now. All right, Steve Beacal, I'll pick it up, buddy, when I get back to the ranch. Thank you for that, and thank you for your superb help last Sunday. You're a cult figure. Whether you wanted to be a cult figure or not, that's up for grabs, but yeah, big wave to you, Hazel. When does Jet 2 to Tenerife go, says Senseless Dust, Trains and Planes. Not sure off the top of my head. Let's see if we can get a bit wiser on that, because I'm thinking we must be due for something to start moving now. I hadn't got any gaps marked out particularly this morning. Jet to Fuerteventura, 9:30. Gran Canaria, 10:10. Malaga, no, it's not going to happen unless it's went out before I got here. It ain't going Tenerife during the course of my... Oh no, 8:40. I wasn't trying hard enough. So where are we now? 8:46. Come on, Jet 2. Come on, Jet 2. Come on, Jet 2. The old one, Mark Pride. Class, man. Proper class. That's interesting, Rab. I'm just having a look at my light counter. It's a very duff experience. Oh, I was talking and I missed the ATC announcement there. Somebody's getting a pushback or requested push. Right, let's try again. 97 likes I've got. 97. So 3 more to go. So if you hit the like and you're 98, 99 or 100, tell us. Let's give you a sing out, a shout out. .346 with Nick Gray, dark and cold. I bet, man. I'll tell you what though, here it was. I left home. I leave home this morning about 6:15, of course UK time and all that, and it was pretty light. So I got my head torch, but didn't need it. Let's just go back to our starboard. It might be a quick moment for a quick chug of water. So, Jet 2 to Tenerife, due to go now. Somebody's definitely requested push and turn. Jet 2 to Geneva is 8:50. The ATR to the right of our Retro, due out at 9 o'clock. German Airways inbound for KLM, scheduled 9:15, but I see here they've slipped a bit of time. It does seem that planes out of Schiphol are often late. Just going to tilt the camera around. I can see, I think it's a runway check actually. Got smoke there. Could be an optical illusion. I'm just wondering why the car wasn't moving. Looked like it was actually stopped, which always tends to draw interest, but it is actually moving. Just it's a very diligent pace. 106 likes up, says Rab. Roger that. So quick peal of fireworks to for getting over the 100. Well done. Super stuff, folks. So yeah, he's seen something. Ooh. KC, I'm actually pretty good. I've got my usual winter layers on. It's your hands that will catch you out potentially, but I'll be honest, it's not bad. I'm not reaching for the gloves. Which way did he go? Oh, there he goes. Butchers. And for anyone that's in the show that is unfamiliar with the tower at Newcastle, pretty stylish. Hasn't quite got the elegance of Edinburgh, but it's not too shabby, even if the Emirates logo on it is pretty hard to see. You think Emirates would insist on that being spruced up? Good morning, Ian Nicholson. How you doing, buddy? Hope you're keeping well. Catch you later, Ash Watts. Have a great day, buddy. KC is getting a plaque on his front wall. Sounds like, are you the 5th Beatle or something? Nice one, Casey. We'll we'll stand with bated breath on that one. Oh, Michelle's got frost down in Essex. It's not that kind of day here at all, which is just as well because I didn't really fancy scraping the windscreen this morning. So let's have a look at the arrivals board while we are waiting for something to move. So the inbound, I must have got my arrivals and departures transposed. So German Airways, the KLM wet lease, 9:10 actually it's showing here, so 20 minutes for them. So the 100 votes is definitely up, says Andy P. Well, I've peeled the fireworks once and I'll definitely do it twice. Next outing, 150 if we get that far north. So yeah, let's go back to the, so next arrival is going to be 9:10 or thereabouts. Enter air 10 o'clock. In fact, the government Falcon is in at 10 to 10. Of course, government, a bit like military, tend to operate their own timetable. The big one for us in the next 30 minutes is, this should be out, I believe, at 9:25. So let's hope that supposition is correct. In fact, let's just see if the picture is now showing on the... Good morning, Sam. Chipaz 1990. I don't know. I don't think, even with the plane you were looking at, I'm going to muster a jig. So the 9:25 BA 1325 flight has no photograph attached to it. But thinking about the usual turnaround time, I would suspect it's this one. There isn't any other British Airways aircraft that I'm aware of. It's Scotland's finest, discreetly parked up at gate 1. Beautiful as that tartan tail fin is, it ain't beating the British European Airways look. Right, but I can see Hazel in the charts, although, let's have a look, 8:53 would be the last post. Oh, so yeah, I'm pretty much up to it. But yeah, Sam, no grooving and moving, shape shifting from Mark down at trackside. And if I do it, as no one else is here at the minute, I'll be the only one that knows. Okay, so just looking more widely around stuff, I see a Cessna 208B Grand Caravan. It says Newcastle to NA. It's currently over Hartlepool. It must have gone out before I got here then, because I ain't seen it. Glow stick, says Chipaz. It's funny you say that. I am thinking about getting a couple of glow sticks for when we get back to the other end of the year. You know, when the streams start in darker conditions or finish in darker conditions. We are going to do an Edinburgh stream, an evening stream, as soon as it becomes sensibly viable. I quite fancy a bit of that. I think I'll just test out with the members, a quick poll, say, is this where you want to see me, you know, chuck one or two of those in, and then we'll go from there. There might be a bit of glow stick chicanery. It might make for some interesting optics. Where'd you get glow sticks from? I'll have to put that to our Eddie. He's funkier than his old man. Thanks Rab as well for confirming on that BEA. Looks very much like 9:25 for that, so plenty of time to get organised with topping up on the tea and coffee. In fact, actually, enough time to get a bacon roll on. I don't think he's in the chat, but I bet DB Bassman is well advanced with that particular mission. He seems to be an Olympic standard Sunday breakfaster, which is a good thing to be, definitely. And of course, welcome to Newcastle. Anyone that's just joined the show, if you joined expecting Edinburgh, usually it is, but as I was explaining earlier on, I need to be elsewhere this afternoon, and this kind of threw itself up as a good thing to do, because we've got that in the show, and we've also got the HM Government Dassault FALCON 900LX, or bear in mind it's operated by RAF 32 Squadron. It's designated a Envoy 4 1cc, I'd like to say, definitely Envoy 4. That's due in at 10 to 10 from Northolt, or more accurately I guess in this context, RAF Northolt. Not too far from Heathrow, is it, Northolt? Bacon bap indeed, Nick Gray. With a bit of tomato sauce on it. Class that I am. Yeah, I'm just watching the chat. Hazel, don't get stressed about accidental blocking. I've got a shocking record of that kind of thing on portable devices, as well as managing to switch them off with my ear, on my phone anyway. Yes, enough said really. So at the minute, it's flat calm. If you voted in the poll, all well and good. There's your options. Just look to the chat. I'm guessing BEA Retro is out in front by a mile. The other three options haven't featured in the show yet, and Bookie's favourite was for the BEA. But yep, throw your towel on your vote. Loiter there for the moment. Keep my ears peeled for anything from ATC. No sauce for Andy P. Is that your tongue-in-cheek way of saying you're saucy enough, Andy P? Or just don't like the options? I think we've talked about this before generally in shows, haven't we? Some people like in mustard and so forth. Oh crikey, there's a big chunky overfly. I'm gonna probably go straight over the top. Is there any blue sky? Tiny bit. We've got a Cargo Lux 747 freighter overheading from Luxembourg en route to Mexico City. That looks like it's going plumb over us, and well, just to illustrate the challenge at hand. This is why I'm glad I bought the umbrella. This is a bit cloudier than I was anticipating, and it does have that kind of feel that it could offer a shower, which I don't mind from a spray point of view. That won't be too bad, will it? But I don't want to get wet. Chip has brown sauce all day, simple as. Sausages, yeah, bacon, gotta be tomato. Or, Mrs. PSA put me onto this one, don't bother with the tomato sauce on the bacon, use some sliced tomato rather than the ketchup. Is this a trains and metro trains moment? There you go. I keep threatening to put these guys on camera. That's the best I can muster in about 4 to 6 weeks time you won't even see that when the shrubs are all leafed up. Right. A lot of activity here. Okay, where are we? Let me zoom up the chat. So yeah, Nick, I am looking skyward, but I think I can't even hear it at the minute, but take my earpiece out. There just doesn't seem to be a window of opportunity. Bit of a nuisance. Kind of ironic when you think about it, because Friday at Edinburgh was just belting for that kind of thing. Well, Chipaz, the Turkish Air Force failed to dial me in on what they were planning. In truth, I'd have been heavily conflicted, because it doesn't necessarily, it works good for feature. Is it worth trying to build a live stream around it if the rest of the action ain't there? That's a tricky one, but I'd have loved the choice. So I'm just looking on the inbound German Airways Embraer 190. It seems to be in a bit of a hold over Bishop Auckland. It's done one circuit. I'm not sure what's cracking off, to be honest. It was late running, and you wouldn't think there'd be a reason why they couldn't get in here. I've not picked up anything. Oh, here we go. We're boarding this chewy departure. Good morning, Alibi 58. How you doing, sir? And Maverick 79. Paul, how are you doing, my friend? Hope you're keeping well. We can definitely see what we can do about cheering up, Mav. We'll do what we need. We'll do what you need. See what we can do. Let's just come over here. So we've got that in play already. You'll be able to catch that one up later on. We've got a government Dassault FALCON listed to arrive at 9:50. In theory, that should probably be transponding now if we're going to get that. And of course, some great faces in the chat. So yeah, I'm hoping we can cheer you up. If it's shareable, feel free to share, mate. All friends here at Plain Sailing Aviation. Oh, hang on a minute. I think you have done. Sorry, I'm a bit behind the chat. Let's just oh, checking out Alibi 58. You're living my dream, man. Oh man, Paul, I'm really sorry to see your news. That is awful. Yeah, yeah, heart goes out to you, my friend. It really does. That ain't easy. Anybody in the show that has been in that situation will know that to be true. Well, what can I see there? I think this was due to go about. Well, actually, no, I'm going to guess, and I try to avoid guess. We'll stay here for the start-up, I think. Feels imminent, although they've not requested anything yet. Hazel says, sausage and bacon sandwiches favourite with HP. It is true, if you're going to go for brown sauce, it has to be HP. None of this daddy's nonsense. HP, definitely. Right, we have. I wonder if I've switched my scanner off inadvertently, because I don't remember hearing any movement requests or even a startup for. Anyway, Jet 2 in the show. It's not transponding though, so I'm getting a bit suspicious. That's the Tenerife one, is it? Senseless dust, trains and planes. So this was due out, if I remember correctly, which is always a hazy thing with me, at 8:40. So it's a wee bit behind schedule, but at least it's moving. And all things happen at once, don't they? I was loitering for that ATR. That has also pushed. So action's back on, folks. I'm wondering where that German Airways Embraer is. Is it still making circles? It is. It is still loitering in the Bishop Auckland area. Looks like it's left the hold. Currently cruising over Durham at, what is it doing? 8,475 feet and declining as it works its way up to us. So German Airways should be with us in probably about 10 minutes, 8 minutes according to flight radar. Bit sceptical, I think 10. Thank you, Rab. The Falcon is in play. It's not quite the Eagle has landed, the Falcon has launched. Good stuff, mate. That is a real boost. Mav, you're going to enjoy that, mate. You will enjoy it. So if you've just joined the show, thank you for joining us. Hope you're keeping well. Happy Sunday. Hope life's being good to you. And if you don't know who I am, I'm Mark. So my great pleasure to say hi. So change of pace from us, Newcastle today. Got a few interesting planes that kind of tipped the balance, and it kind of fitted my availability. So all is good. Back to Edinburgh next Sunday. It's a curious one, that Chipaz, ATC being closed. You kind of think, I don't know how they're staffed, but this is not a busy airport, and I don't know. That would explain why there's been a lack of anything happening on the deck. Right, the Geneva flight, so this must be Tenerife you're looking at, because this is definitely the Geneva Jet 2. So we're good. So we're back up. We're in business. Stuart. I must admit, I'm back. I'm up for a windy one. I'm definitely up for a windy one. To the extent that if that was to turn up in the week, we might do a bonus midweek show, but definitely the plan is to be back at Edinburgh next Sunday. One of the fire trucks on the move. I'm thinking this is just routine movement. There's no lights going on it, and as importantly, at least looks like it's routine patrol. I bet it peels off to the left for the BizJet park. That would be my uninformed guess. Oh, it had turned off and I wasn't paying attention. There it is. We're busy looking everywhere else bar where the camera was. So I got a bit of a standoff between the principal Jet 2 liveries. On their day, both pretty classy. I went through a phase of sort of a bit meh, you know, but on a sunny day that looks super. So I've kind of undermined my own position that it's time for a change. So this came from Belfast, so my working assumption is that's where it's going. There's the thing. Is he going out 07? No telescope here, folks. Not having that one. It is going 07. Something sort of doing. There's me saying no runway changes today. Couldn't happen. Good morning, Eileen Adams. I'm Mark Eileen. Hope you're doing well. Well, that's a bonus. Yeah, it's just going to backtrack. I'm going to say, looking at the sock, I just wasn't sure about the wind strength, whether it was at a level that could permit either end. Didn't make much sense with German Airways coming, well, looking like it's shaping to come on to 25s. Yeah, with 25s. Wind sock looks pretty lifeless, to be fair. So there's quite a few planes transponding on the deck. Let me see if I can get flight radar opened up properly. Doesn't need much track, does it? Show off. Excellent though. Oops, sorry folks, I let the camera go. I've got a hunch that might be the only turboprop in the show, as in scheduled type action. Stand to be corrected. So we've got some Jet 2s on the move. Heading the line is that one off the Tenerife, pursued by the Geneva departure. Good morning, Tony Rivers. How goes it? Hammy's in the show as well. Hey up, Hammy. And Celeste Donaldson is in the house. Good morning, Les. Hi to Shane Smith. Hey up, Mothman is in the show as well. Urgently communicating for assistance. Mothman, we're thinking of you, mate. Anyway, hope everybody is hunky-dory. Plane is holding short because we've got German Airways inbound. That is a KLM flight inbound from Amsterdam. Was due to be in at 8:40, so a little bit late. I'll put that on camera in a jiff. Let's work towards that goal now. Got greedy. Come on, man, give me a break. I'll stop being greedy. I'm not joking. Every time I go for the zoom, that's it. I'm being put to the sword here. We're in. Siobhan Everett. How you doing, Siobhan? Hope you're keeping well. So the departing Jet 2 Holidays liveried 737 is just taking the runway. We'll stay with German Airways for the moment. Don't worry, Alibi, I'll be finished by 12:25. We are very much looking to finish around 11:30, give or take. That'll be the plan. I think we're rolling with the Jet 2 departure. So we are. So, what next? The Geneva departure. That's the next one. Good morning, Mohawk, Scotland. Mohawk, I was saying to Steve Beakhouse 78 in the chat as well, and if you've already done it, I do apologise for doubling down, but do drop us that email, mate, to plane.sailing.aviation@gmail.com. Got something for you, my friend. That's a curious jaunty angle, a bit like a Formula 1 car, isn't it? Pole position, trying to cover off second place. Of course, the F1 starts soon, does it not? 16th of March. For those of you who do Netflix and like Drive to Survive, that's gonna be manna from heaven, I think. I can feel some binge watching coming my way. Good morning, Mary Brock, all the way the other side of the world in New South Wales, Australia. How are you, Mary? Just in time to catch this. And we've got the BEA Retro going out, well, scheduled to go out in the next minute or so. My scanner must have switched itself off without juice, because I ain't hearing any of this. Switched itself off. Mohawk, it's not bad here, mate. It's a slight nip, but very agreeable. I like the sound of your skies, to be honest. Here it's total cloud cover, picking up those overflies, below all chance of that. Hi to John Kenneth Williams. I ain't bad, mate, not bad at all. Not chatting about football though, that makes me feel vexed. Stephen Marchant, good well to you, buddy. Stephen, I hope you saw the credit I put in the community post, because I've been feeling bad about it ever since missing your 5 gifted memberships last time we were here. Was that Thursday? It was Thursday, weren't it? A week last Thursday. Anyway, mate, massively appreciated. I hate doing wrong. Let's watch a bit of synchronised trucking. Right, enough of that. For those of you who like continuity, diggers are off today. At least they've parked them up with some symmetry. So I think we're going to rest here. Plane of the day, hot favourite. I don't know who's running out first in the poll at the minute. The biggest competitor to it, I suspect, will be the HM Government Falcon, which Rob says is currently at Sheffield, so not too far away. But I think it's pretty much a given that this is the people's choice for plane of the day. Might just take a cheeky little snap here. I've got loads of pictures of this plane from previous encounters, like many of us enthusiasts, but you always feel like you want more. Yeah, Tony Rivers, get stuck into that tea, have one for me. I was seriously indulging my tea habit this morning before I come out, worked my way through a full pot, felt better for it. Ah, Mary Brock, I'm here, there and everywhere. So for Edinburgh, I travel probably about 2.5 hours, 2.25 hours if I'm streaming in Edinburgh, whereas I live relatively near to Newcastle airport, so for me it's probably door to door, I don't know, allowing for walking time and everything. Well, by car it's about half an hour, and then it takes me probably about 15 minutes to walk to where I'm standing. But yeah, this is the easier one of the two in terms of logistics. It's like I've stood the world on its head, because normally we'd be more likely to do Newcastle on a Friday and Edinburgh on the Sunday, and certainly Edinburgh will go back to Sunday next weekend. The midweek Newcastle show may well be a Wednesday. I'm exploring that one. If Wednesday looks good enough, we'll do that for something different. If it doesn't stand up, you know me, I'm not one for streaming you nothing happening type stuff. Not into that webcam look. In which case I'll bide my time and see if Thursday or Friday shape better for Newcastle. But I'll keep you all posted. It's all part of the game. Roger that, Mohawk. I will get onto it back at the ranch. Oh, you've been on this one, have you? Saying earlier on in the show, I'd love to, but I worry that I wouldn't end up on this plane. The way they kind of tend to allocate the aircraft 24 hours before, and even then often change, often a swap out. So let's look at the spamming action. Rab H leading the charge, Les Donaldson, Michelle Johnson, Gary Fleming, more Michelle definitely trying to swing plane of the day there. Hazel Kitchen as well. It does look like a nice plane, Hazel. This is style, biased as I am. Yeah, Hammy, I was saying earlier in the show, 9 days out of 10, this would win plane of the day with me. 9 days out of 10. But as you know, I've got a serious Falcon habit, and therefore I think that might be the the one for me too. A Falcon with a Union Jack on it. And you're right, Alibi, stick this on a 350 or even the BOAC livery and you've got some serious stuff going on. Right, I see something high in the sky. Mohawk, Scotland, you are a legend. This must be the British Airways thing that we see at Edinburgh, one in, one out. So we've got an inbound A319, British Airways, and an outbound in the same shot. Mohawk, Scotland, loves the Retro BEA, was an emergency sub in at Heathrow for the return to Edinburgh. Exactly that point, isn't it? It's hard to predict, but if you get lucky, that puts an extra smile, don't it? Mohawk, that is awesome support, mate. We're going to do you some fireworks whilst the inbound plane is high in the sky. Tony Rivers, what you like? Get back to your tea drinking. Take mop face out. Pegasus emojis in the show. Yet again, I've goofed up with the emojis. So I got the BEA one in, that was good, but I didn't take the Pegasus out. I don't know why. Must have been rushing. Keith Cornell giving it some BEA spamming. Mark Pride looking forward to an Aberdeen stream. We're going to be doing something on that front relatively soon. I can reveal in very, very broad gist. We'll put it into the members newsletter, which should be dropping with you in the next week. I was saying on the last stream, I've postponed it because there's a few moving parts that might be overtaken by events, but Aberdeen will feature in that. Plan A is Abby Garvey and myself will co-present a stream, much like we do with Linda Cooper at Edinburgh. Should be a hoot. Yeah, Steve BCal 78. I was saying earlier on in the show, the Union Jack tail fin is probably the one that I remember seeing the most prevalent. Right, so here we go. So it's a very exciting phase of the show. We get to see the BEA Retro go. We've got the government Falcon coming in, and for a change of pace, Enter Air in from Bournemouth at 10 o'clock. That's before we start thinking about our Emirates 777. Quite a high calorie diet for Newcastle, really. Some nice mix of planes. Looks like we've got another Jet 2 that is pushed. I'll stay with this for the minute because I want to go back to the Retro. Something growling overhead. Sounds tasty, but I got no way of getting on it, sadly. So here we go. Style. Sing-free zone that this show is. I can hear Stevie Wonder in my head now, crooning away. Isn't she lovely? Oh, Stephen Marchant, you are the man. Thank you so much for that generous support. Definitely haven't missed you this time round. I'm going to do the fireworks now. Thank you, Stephen. You're a great friend. So that's 5 gifted memberships. We'll have a look and see who got those in a minute. Tell you what, let's just have a little bit of this as it's come so close. You can tell I'm getting excitable. Camera's going everywhere. Ooh. I thought this was the footballer's plane. Seems to be going somewhere. Humberside, I suspect. We've got a hub there. This one ain't going to Humberside. most definitely London Heathrow. Good morning, RSVP. Hazel Kitchen. My first flight was a Britannia Airways 737. I think it must have been a 200, but I'm slightly sketchier on that. It was definitely a 737, and that was to Tenerife back in 1986. First plane, it's almost like your first kiss. How does that song go? When will I see you again? Okay. What you will almost certainly like to see again is one of these Eastern Airways Embraer 170. Can't remember if it's a long range iteration, but I'll have a look into that. So yeah, long range. This one registered Golf Charlie Mike Papa India, 20 years of age. Backtracking its way up runway 25. Thank you, Ian Finley. That growly noise was a KLM A330, was it? On its way stateside. Awesome stuff. Good morning, I like planes. No, I won't be at Edinburgh this afternoon, sadly. I've got something else that I've got to attend to, which is the entire reason we are actually at Newcastle today rather than Edinburgh in the first place. For me to do an Edinburgh stream that finishes at lunchtime, it's pretty much a most of the day kind of thing. So no, sadly not. Deborah Speller, his husband, has also flown on the Retro just before the paint job. Be interesting how it would work out from a marketing point of view if BEA, or BA, getting tangled now, decided to retire the Retro livery, and whether they were kind of, I don't know, book your seats on the final flights kind of thing. I'll definitely have a piece of that. Definitely. Good morning, Sarah Louise. How you doing? Chipaz thinks we need a Pegasus here. What does the chat think? Members, show me a bit of spam. If you want more Pegasus, put the tail fin in. I personally caution against it. Where is this plane actually going anyway? The one that's on cam. Newquay. I thought it was going Humberside. Oh well. Welcome to Plain Sailing Aviation. If you've just joined the show, where if we don't know, we'll just make it up. It probably seemed like that, but it isn't really. Right, here we go. Little pirouette. Get some heat in those tyres. Go, go, go. I think I must have switched my scanner off again. I'm going to have to change its position in my pocket because I'm not getting the traffic again. Uh-oh. I poked the bear. I'm seeing lots of Pegasus stuff. One going around with Chris. Good morning to you, Chris. My chat's just caused some kind of meltdown. Right, so I've got, oh no, we're moving. We'll do Stephen Marchant's gifted memberships in a minute. Do a name check on the lucky runners and riders. Hopefully all in the show. say, nothing climbs like an empty Embraer. That got steep relatively quickly. Let's do the name check. We've got a Jet 2 over the far side. Let's just lodge there. So who got? GOVT 07, Carol Crozier, Steve Mack, Crispy Critter, and Deb 08, who I think was in Friday's show. If you are about, please do pass on your appreciation to Stephen Marchant. Awesome stuff. Let's try and get to the bottom of the chat as best I can. Thanks Ian Finley for the confirmation on that Eastern off to Newquay. Good morning, Sue Corder. How are you doing? You're never late, Sue. Never late. And actually, on point of accuracy, you are early if you are looking forward to seeing the HM Government Dassault FALCON 900LX. Or if you think about it militarily, the RAF Envoy 4. Anyway, it's coming. Sooner than Christmas. Good morning, Robert D. How you doing? Ah, right. Got you in Finley. So it's dipping out on something else and be back before returning to Gatwick. Did we say it was Brighton that we're playing Newcastle today? So yeah, exactly that, Rab. We will be finished around 11:30. We're going to wrap up. It looks like the Emirates 777 is going to give us a big finale. That'll be excellent. So I posed a question about Pegasus, didn't I? And wow. So Tony Rivers started it. Ian Finley's in there. Hammy, Gary Fleming, Les Donaldson, Hazel Kitchen, Michelle Johnson, and more Tony Rivers. There's a lot of love for Pegasus. To be fair, it wouldn't surprise me if we did end up with Pegasus here in the next couple of years. It'll be interesting to see how that one plays out. So, Sven, hello to you. I'm Mark. Right, I've seen a couple of bits in the chat. Chip has, thanks mate. So that Eastern Embraer is doing a bit of crew training via the former RAF St Morgan. Jet 2 are now filling the action void, stepping up to take their passengers to, drum roll, Fuerteventura. As always folks, please do drop a like if you've yet to drop a like, because obviously while we're live on air, it encourages YouTube to actually earn their 30%. Chopper alert, members, you've got your chopper emoji. I think I packed it, I think. Or perhaps I wished I'd packed it. There we go. We've got a chopper in today's show. So with an inbound BizJet, where am I going? Full house, I think. Good morning, Ross McNeil. How are you keeping? Sven, delighted you're enjoying the show. Welcome to Newcastle. I think you'll enjoy Edinburgh too. We basically, there are home bases we toggle between. Checking out some of that chopper emoji action. Robert D, Michelle Johnson, Rab H, Hammy and Hazel Kitchen. Yes, it was a little bit Airwolfy, Hazel. Whirlybirds, says Steve Marchant, betraying our ages. I used to love Whirlybirds as a kid, back in the summer. You know, like when summer holiday TV was basically old black and white shows, Casey Jones and all that malarkey, the Flashing Blade. Keith, I'm not sure if that was G. Hal's. For those who aren't familiar, that one is a regular flyer out of here, Northumbria Helicopters, if I remember correctly. I couldn't quite catch the reg cleanly. EasyJet A320, 6 minutes out, says Robert D. So, EasyJet enter the show. Haven't seen any easy action yet. Jet 2 hogging the limelight. Falcon on finals, says Chipaz 1990. See if I can pick it up with my naked eye. So if you are just in the show, let's just toggle there. Remember, we have a poll, and this is the poll. So we've already seen the BEA Retro. You're going to see the Falcon next, followed by Enter Air, followed by Emirates. So it's actually a pretty good swag bag. If this was a party bag, you know, kids these days have party bags, don't they? This will be definitely a very good party bag. Today's show, bit of retro, bit of swish Falcon type action. Enter Air, got a nice livery, and certainly I never seem to see them very often. Oop, what's going on here? You're on camera, guys. I think that's attending the British Airways arrival. I've heard nothing on my scanner, so I'm assuming that's switched off again. Well, they're definitely attending. We'll come back to that because we can't see anything anyway. Hot brakes, perhaps? I've only sent one pump. Well, it's a fuel tanker getting closer, so that doesn't suggest anyone's too worried about much there. I can see the Falcon, so I'm just gonna take the graphic off the screen that says Newcastle Airport, set ourselves to record. When the Falcon gets nicely into final approach, I'll just stop commentating because I'll use that as a video. Good morning, David Smart. How you doing, pal? Yeah, not joking. You're a man after my own heart. You really are. You know my view. That's a livery that if someone says, create me a livery and you can finish early, you'd have that one knocked off in 5 minutes, wouldn't you? You really would. Falcon's still fairly high in the sky. Rab H got the BizJet and plane of the day emoji. I think it's going to be my favourite. If anybody has an inkling in the chat, probably going to be more for local folks who've got some insight, perhaps through the local news or whatever. Anyone know of any high profile politicians that might be visiting? They have to be fairly high profile, otherwise they make them come on the train. Royalty don't seem to be listed. If it was royalty, I think we'd see one of the Royal Flight helicopters as well, and that I've not seen one arrive, so pretty sure it's not royalty. Court Circular hasn't got anything listed. So our inbound Falcon, registered Golf Zulu Alpha Hotel Sierra, 3 years of age, one of 2 of this type operated by the Royal Flight. See if we can get the target before the lights push me out. I'll have to peel away now. We've got somebody else on finals. I'm guessing this might be Enter Air. EasyJet, sorry, it was called by Robert D in the chat, wasn't it? EasyJet. It's the end of the... So I'm looking at 2 things at once, realised I'm making a horlicks of tasking the camera. Just looking at the fire tenders lights. I'll put you on that in a minute. Thank you, Chipaz. Enter Air, due to enter. 30 minutes, roger that. So a bit later than advertised. The main thing is during our run time. Somebody else is on finals. I'll rely on the chat for the moment. Actually, I've seen it on Flight Radar now. We've got Air France coming our way with an Embraer 190 standard. So that is in the earlier phase of finals. So I'm just going to rotate the camera. That's the pump that I saw the lights flash literally 5 minutes ago. That's there waiting for this plane. Right, I'm going to go bottom up in the chat because I realise I'm a bit out of sync, so please do bear with me, folks. Jill Champion, good morning to you. I'm Mark Jill. Can't remember if we've met before, but my pleasure to say hi. Mike Wild, hello to you. Good morning, Linda Cooper. How you doing, Linda? Hope all is good. Feels odd streaming on a Sunday without you. Yeah, Hammy, we don't agree on everything, do we? But I'm going to say I think the Falcon is my plane. Oh, sugar. Nearly a telescope. Whoa, how close was that? I've been watching that fire tender a little bit too attentively. I nearly got telescope number 3 of the current spotting season. Sorry about that rather panicked tracking of the camera. I'm determined not to get to 3. Yeah, Gary Fleming, I think you got it nailed, mate. Beautiful, that Falcon. Beautiful. Beautiful livery and a beautiful plane. Not going to pronounce this correctly probably, but I'll have a go. Lulidval, hello to you. And David Smart, you're exactly right, mate. Someone may have answered that in the chat. So the Union Jack tail that you see on those Falcons, or as I was saying, they're technically Envoy 4s in their RAF designation and fitting. We've got the same Union Jack look on the A330. Looks pretty good on that as well. Actually, I'm going to upgrade pretty good to exceptionally good. That is a thing of beauty. So 2 weeks tomorrow, Stephen Marchant is going to be testing the value in his £58 return flight to Tenerife. Funny actually, I was talking to Eddie about that Friday after I got back from Edinburgh. £58 seems ludicrous. We talk about the fact that there's still bargains to be had, but it's cute if you think about how it is. There's an awful lot of, or increasingly, an awful lot of non-bargains. If that's not, doesn't sound very smooth, but you know what I mean. Right, so Eastern Airways are going to be, German Airways, sorry, it's German Airways at the weekend, isn't it? On their way back to Schiphol. Turn that one around fairly quickly. So that's your next departure team. stay with Air France. Tail fin, beautiful. I have to say, the fuselage of that plane looks a little bit grubby, but they have definitely got one of the classiest tail fins amongst the scheduled airlines. Right, so is that fire truck still here? It is, isn't it? What's going on here? I'll just give him a wave, see if we can get the blues. Gary Fleming, that wasn't VAR territory, but it weren't far off, was it? That was nearer than I like. 167 likes so far, says Linda Cooper, so it will be smashing to get somewhere north of 250 during today's show. Let's see how close we get to that. All about serving up the action. Scottish Linda is in the house. Good morning. Get your tea. Get your tea, Linda. Definitely get your tea. Things will feel better. It's the thing that our Eddie causes me quite a bit of amusement over. So he's just got the one, and like all kids of a little bit under 3 years of age, she's a busy bee. But our Eddie just don't do caffeinated drinks. And I'm thinking, oh, hang on a minute, man. You're making life hard on yourself. The world always feels a better place. I suppose you could count this as a telescope. No, I'm not taking telescopes for toy town planes before anyone asks. Although we will stay with it for the minute. Ah, right, in Finley. I knew, oh, what's that gone? There it is. Oh, we saw this go earlier, didn't we? So I knew that when it was initially procured, they got some kind of dual crewing arrangement with Centreline, but I wasn't entirely sure whether that was just part of that a simulation thing. So if you're wondering what we're talking about, you've just joined the show. We're just talking about this Dassault FALCON 900LX, or an Envoy 4 in RAF parlance. So no, I wasn't sure if Centreline had a bigger role to play, if I'm honest, so thanks for that. 173 likes, says Mary Brock. Keep them coming, folks. Now, we don't have A380s here, Jill Champion. Runway itself is only 2,300 metres. They haven't got they wouldn't comply anyway, I don't think, with some of the requirements, but they haven't got the ability to handle it, I don't think, either. So no, we've got a 777 though, that's our big plane. Okay, so Chewy are getting involved, showing a bit of interest. We saw folks boarding that one a little while ago. This just gets a slightly better perspective. Sylvia Barker, good morning to you. How are you keeping? Happy Sunday. Gary Fleming. Told you I can't take a telescope for that little tiddler. They kind of grub in on you. Good morning, Dopey Gorp. How are you doing, my friend? Hope you're keeping well. Actually, while I think about it, Dopey Gorp, there was a little light bulb switched on at the back of my head. I don't know if the twins are with you at the minute, and I felt bad about missing it last week in all the mayhem of the wind. But a shout out for your two girls, Ella and Isla. Ella and Isla, hello from Mark here at Newcastle. Just too wild last weekend to keep on top of anything. Les Donaldson, I could have, do you know what? I knew you'd vote for the telescope. You'd probably include cyclists or some other non-aviation type movement. I don't know. Nice one, Chipaz. Enter air, descending over Leyburn. Won't be too long now before we get the pleasure of enter air, entering the fray. Yeah, not bad, Sylvia Barker. Not bad. Hazel Kitching has got the Chewy emoji deployed, and actually reminds me to check where it's going, because I feel like saying it's going Tenerife. 10 o'clock always makes me think Stephen Marchant is off to Tenerife on this plane. But fingers it's now starting to feel cold. I said it wasn't a glove day. Oh, been spammed. Jet 2 spammed us. Good morning, the Foxy Bee. How are you doing, Laura? Lanzarote, I see in the chat. Who said that? Chipaz. Thanks, mate. So let's just find out what's going on there. Nosy Mark. So plane on cam. I can't get my flight radar to work properly. I might have to close it down. To be fair, it's been on its best behaviour for most of the show. Gran Canaria, it says on my one. Oh, this is nuts. This is not the view I want. Sorry folks, bit of stick cam. Tell you what, let's have less stick cam and let's stay with the Chewy, as the ops guys have left it alone. Let's see if I can get my scanner working. Because of the uncertainty of my planning. Yeah, it's out of juice. Oh, it's managed to switch itself off again. Never happened before. Let's see if we can do better this time. Unless it's getting towards the end of its battery and it's self-isolating. That sounded a bit COVID-y, didn't it? Do apologise for the rustling sounds. Right, let's see if that's better. Ooh, looking forward to that, Chipaz. Delta back at Edinburgh next Sunday. Yep, that is a beautiful thing to know. Thank you, mate. Yep, Scottish Linda, chewy time. Is that an ambulance? It is, isn't it? What's going on here? That's never a good look. So we've got a fire engine still hanging tough there. Blowhawk Scotland, thank you for your generosity, my friend, and have a great old time working on your shed roof, your parents' shed roof. Hopefully the weather will stay on the right side of the line for you. Thank you, Chipaz, as well, for confirming enter air is over Teesside. Roger that. No, wheels are still touching the deck. Defo rain clouds behind me. My flight radar just ain't displaying right, so that's why I was it raining now? There's spots of drizzle. That'll be a nuisance. I've got to pack the laptop away. I cannot get flight radar to display properly. Right, I'm going to have to think about wet weather protection, as well as how to get flight radar back. In fact, let's just close them all down and try it again. Alibi 58. I'm gutted, sincerely gutted, to confirm we have 100% cloud cover at the minute. So that overfly is going to be outside of my operating window. I feel so bad about that. Right, let's see if I can get flight radar back. Flight radar 24, yes please. Right, so the plane I see on the deck, it's working now, just needed a reboot, is just this departure to Lanzarote. Yeah, Rob, I'm pulling all the stops out. Oh dear, bear with me team, I'm just going to put my laptop in the bag because I've just got a funny feeling the sky is going to deposit a lot of the wet stuff unexpectedly quickly. I think it's forecast to. I'm just seeing small flecks of drizzle, so it's not worth finding out if the forecast is going to be accurate. There we go, at least we're partially covered. Les Donaldson, Alibi 58. I can't believe it. I was expecting a little bit more sympathy for this old geezer. It's the best excuse I can come up with. Right, I think we've got... No, it's an overfly, Ryanair overfly. I thought it was going a bit too fast on flight radar. So at the minute, the only transponding action is the plane you are looking at. The other sexy move will be this Falcon, which will go out during the course of the show, so we've got that to look forward to. Trying to remind myself when it was supposed to go. Okay, bear with me. So the Falcon should go out at 11:05 actually, so we will see it go, unless the high rollers that are going with it are in Sunday mode. So let's just stay with this Lanzarote bound jet. So the overfly is extracting way too much Pegasus tribute doping up. Well, I'm not at all surprised. Gary Fleming, no longer surprised. Ali by 58, you break my heart. Tony Rivers, words fail me. Mary Rock asks what Chewy means. That has come up in a show before, and if I'm honest, it's not very memorable for me. It's like transportation. Oh, I don't know. Someone in the show's bound to know. I once knew and now I've forgotten. If you've just joined the show as well, welcome to Newcastle. If you didn't know already, I'm Mark. Just in time to see the Chewy 737 departure to Lanzarote. Short show here on in. We're on air for probably about another hour and 10 minutes. We've got the Emirates 777 in. We've got a Dassault FALCON on the way out. And we should have an in and out from an Enter-Air 737-800, plus the usual stuff that you would typically find here, including the plane on screen. Hope your Sunday is going well. As always, gentle plea on likes makes the YouTube world go round. Thank you, Stephen Marchant. Touristic Union International. There you go, Mary Brock. I knew somebody would know. I think we might use that in our next social quiz. Those who enjoy the socials, make a little note of that one. Might being the key word, but it's just not memorable, is it? So I'm tempted. I think the scanner must be in low power mode. It's switching itself off, so I made a Horlicks of getting it charged. So there's me thinking I've been switching it off. I think it powers itself down. British Airways, I think, are on the push. No, they're not. I can see they're still loading. Still loading. Dopey Gorp. Checking on the spelling. It's just as well I didn't post that. I can tell you now, save your time. It's spelt wrong. Might not even be right, sounding right. RAB confirming the 777 is actually improving on time, 11:24. So that's going to make pretty much an 11:30 finish nailed on. Enter-Air on final approach. They'll get in before the Chewy departs, so let's just shape up. Scottish Linda, I know you do. Chewy. Bit of emoji action as well there for the Chewy from Michelle and Gary, and Scottish Linda actually. It's the antidote to too much Pegasus. Right, enter air, entering the fray. I'm just going to go to record mode. As you can see, it's going to be a bit of a challenge to acquire in the gloomier conditions. The aircraft lights are proving quite formidable actually. Let's see if I can focus on something else and then steal in like that. Oh, that's it. Well, what do you reckon, chat? I thought that was a very good looking plane. This one looks a bit glum, doesn't it? In fact, as it's not moving, let's just have a little bit more of the debut for us of Enter. Right, Chewy is moving. Okay, what's occurring? I think British Airways, I don't know, they look like they're still loading, don't they? Let's ignore that. Those stairs on that EasyJet, not sure what time it's supposed to go. I can see something transponding, so let's see. Easy to Belfast, it's this baby. Good night, Mary Brock. Thanks for watching as well. Good morning, Jack Macklin. How you doing? Late rise on a Sunday morning. Got to be done. What's going on here? Who's on pole position? Bam! Scared them birds. See if I can get the second one. They usually fire them in pairs. That one didn't go bam, did it? I did. Thank you, Alibi, for posting that Facebook group link. So we've had a few new members and returning members during today's show. So if you are Facebook orientated, do send a friend request to that link. As soon as I get home, I'll admit you into the PSA crew lounge. It's as quick as that. Mary Brock, we'd love to have you back with us. Right, Belfast bound. Is this easy? I think the wind direction has shifted a little bit as well since we went live, and definitely it is a bit blowier. So that looks to me more of a typical prevailing west-southwesterly to me. When we opened the show, I think it was more southwesterly. Sky overhead. Ooh, what do you reckon? Summer is here. Summer is appearing behind me. So we might get some overflies if the opportunity presents. Back end of the show. Has to be said, tragically, the foreground is just garbage cloud wise. It's gonna be wet somewhere, I think. There's our Falcon, our tri-jet star of the show. Each of those engines apparently knocking out 5,000 pounds of thrust, so 15,000 across the packet. He's punchy. In fact, actually, no, we'll stay where we are. I feel there's a plane to be seen somewhere, even if I'm making hard work of it. I can even feel the sun now. This is bonkers. It's gorgeous. Good morning, DB Bassman. Gigging last night, were you, mate? I don't know how far for you Stirling is, but you're still doing the rock and roll thing, aren't you? Living the dream. I think you had a good time, mate. Anyway, the BEA Retro, you'll be able to catch it up later. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a short video together of the BEA, the Falcon, and probably end-to-air, and put it out as a short package, members first, before putting it somewhere else. So won't be able to do that today, but hopefully I'll have a chance to do it tomorrow. Oh, I did not know that. Ian Finley, end-to-air are Polish. Thing is, I don't see that much of them, so I suppose I've not really thought about it. DB, 45-minute drive. I bet the roads were empty on the way back, man. Thank you, Robert D. Next action, Ryanair from Dublin. So we've got Belfast, outward with EasyJet, Ryanair ferrying folks in from the Emerald Isle in the opposite direction. Yeah, it's very dark, Michelle. It's kind of, it's not going to pester us now. And the overfly prospectus, look at that, it's like the leading edge of a weather system. So everything that away, I reckon it's going to rain somewhere there. To be fair, it's a bit like that over here, but it's all blue at the back of that. Let's rest up on the Falcon, as I am biased. So for those who wonder about Falcons and the degree of opulence inside, can't help you on that one, but the aircraft itself is apparently 66 feet 4 inches long, or if you like it metric, 20.21 metres, wingspan 70 feet 2 inches, or 21.38 metres, and the all-important payload, you can carry up to 14 passengers. The range is reported as for 8 people, they can do around 4,751 nautical miles. So I suppose that's the plane in numbers, or some numbers. So yeah, there might be a shot at the 380 overfly hammy. Keep me posted. Just looking at the chit chat between DB Bassman and Les Donaldson. Falkirk hanging in there. More than could be said for Leicester City. See how the sun is beating off that. Good morning, Giant Coin Stacks. How you doing? Oh, hang on a minute, doping up. Friday, train to Newcastle Airport. Check my diary. If you're definitely going to be a Friday show possibility and you fancy it, and the worry for me is the action won't justify your effort if we can't get the right day together. But yeah, we'll make it happen, definitely. Right, Ryanair is the next plane in. I'm just pointing, in fact no, let's just go to the sky now. There it is. See if I can acquire the target early. Come on, stop teasing me. Yeah, I'll have a rethink. I'm going to come back to that in a minute. Don't pick up. I'm up for it if you're up for it. Gotcha. Yeah, I'll message you after the show. Don't pick up. Regulation landing. Suzanne 43, how you doing? Happy Sunday to you. Thank you, Robert D, confirming we've got a Flying Dutchman inbound. I think I saw E195 there, but the chat has just jumped on. Be a welcome addition to the show. Well, I'm officially upgrading the weather. It's lovely. Funny really, when we streamed on Friday, obviously I was joined for a chunk of the stream by Jamie Miller, one of our members, and we both reflected on Facebook that the sun had caught us. That's the first time that's really happened this year. So it just tells you change is coming. So you can see a bit of hazing going on now. This is the crackers weather. 200 likes are up, says Gary Fleming. Thank you everybody that supported us with a like. Fireworks are for you. Fantastic stuff. Oops. I'll look into the sky then. How transformative is that? Okay, what's moving? Ooh, that Falcon moved. I think it has. Entirely sure. I'm just going to rest you there while I collect myself. I don't think it's transponding. The only transponding plane is the inbound Ryanair that has just arrived. Thanks, Hazel. I'm hoping we finish under dry conditions. It's much easier when you're taking the kit to bits. So it kind of, if it rained now, from a show point of view, we'd be fine. The wind has picked up, but I could protect everything with an umbrella. But trying to take things to bits in the rain is not great. 203 likes, says Michelle. Apologies if it sounds like I'm enjoying this drink of water that I am chugging. Oh, Suzanne, I'm really sorry to read that. Flu really sucks at the best of times. And if everybody's laid low with it, it's a horrible situation. So I'll pop you there for the minute while I just have a quick reminder. No, I think you're right, Gary Fleming, on reflection. The Falcon I was on probably is where it was. I've probably moved. It's all a question of perspective. So I think what's happening. KLM are going to be with us in about 10 minutes, thereabouts. 9 minutes. Emirates 777 still shaping solid for 11:24. That's pretty much going to be the finish plane, I think, because the EasyJet from Paris is running late, nearer 12 o'clock, so don't think I can stretch for that, although I'm severely tempted. There's a VistaJet inbound from Malaga. Oh, it's a nice one as well. I wonder if I can take some bits to bits before I close. Might be able to expedite an on-time departure. So the forecourt pretty empty, as you can see from the old windsock picking up a bit. In fact, let's just get Meta up, see what they're saying. So at the minute, wind speed is around 9 knots, so it's none too tasty. Right, I'm going to bob the camera. Let's go back to our Falcon. It was due out around 10 to 11, so if it does go as advertised, we're in that kind of operating window, aren't we? Remember, team, if you're in the show and you're yet to vote, plane of the day, it's a 4-horse race, really. The Falcon on screen, BEA Retro has obviously been and gone. Emirates Triple, due in at 11:24, and Enter Air. We've seen Enter Air come in, and I think that's due out around 11 o'clock or thereabouts, although it did come in late, so who knows. Either which way, there's the poll. Democracy in action. How is the poll looking, team? I'm assuming BEA are... Chopper just snicking in. I'm assuming the BEA is out a mile in front. Chewy have pushed and turned. Another Chewy. Thanks, Rab. BEA 47%. Do you know, I figured they'd be better than that. 215 votes cast. Who's running second? I'm intrigued. I would have thought this plane, if I'm honest. But I'm wondering how close it could be. I mean, the 777's always going to poll a solid support base because it's just immense, isn't it? Well, plane you were looking at is transponding, so we ain't far off departure. We've also got the Chewy that I was talking about that's pushed and turned off to Sharm el Sheikh. So back to the poll. Emirates second. Do you know what? Thanks Mav and Rab for both confirming. That stands it up massively for me. I would have figured 26%, and it's not even showed up yet. Right, bit of tiddler prop action. I think we've seen this go already once today. So a bit of a backtrack. There's an overfly. I'm going to try and acquire it, and then we'll work out what it is in a bit. Well, you'll tell me. Okay, let's hit the tiddler. Caught me out there. Right, Hammy. I think I see it. If it's the one I think. Let's have a look. I see something. Might be a bit harder. There's 2 or 3 options here. I'm bound to pick the wrong one, aren't I? To the naked eye, that looked like a quad. It is a quad. Now, whether it's... Right, I've got to be careful here because the Falcon has moved. And somebody's on finals. The finals will be the KLM. I'm hoping I've got the 380. It's definitely got 4 engines. If it's the 380, it's our Glasgow. Oh, I think Belfast for a 380, I think. Right, better get back to the local action. There's Falcon, and to complete the sequence, here is KLM, whose distinctive Pratt & Whitney engines on the Embraer 195E2. Chewy taxiing out, so all is good. the Falcon is going to come out momentarily, so I'm going to have to be on my A game. No tittering at the back. Falcon is moving. It's going to paddle its way back up the track. Good afternoon, Tommy. How goes it, buddy? Robert D says we've got British Airways inbound due in 5 minutes. Good morning to Hans Olaf Mork. How you doing, Hans Olaf? Try to catch up with a few chats while we await the Falcon. This thing's going to go up like a rocket, so I don't know how much of it we're going to get, but we'll try hard. So Tommy joining us from Finland. Thanks, Hans Olaf, for hitting that like button. This is Mark's plane of the day on screen. I can just see myself sitting in that cabin. Although, as I'm neither military, royal, or politico, I've got zip chance of that. Welcome back, Mohawk, as well. Hi to Robin Harrison, our friend in Morecambe. Yeah, it's not wanting an awful lot of the track, is it, Rab? As Halibai says there, going up like a rocket. As I was saying earlier, each of those engines, £5,000 of thrust apparently, so think about it, 15k of thrust on such a small plane. Boy, is it going places. Look at that. I'll stay with it as far as I can. Directly over me now. Beautiful tri-jet action. The only tri-jet in the show. Boy, nearly pulled the cable out of the camera there. Right, Chewy next to go. Thank you, Rob H. Hope you enjoyed that. You're right, Yorkshire biker. Barely needs a runway. And of course, good morning to you, my friend. Blimey. That's an interesting stat, Hammy. 4,224 feet per minute. Barely needed any track to get up either. That was impressive. Well, we don't normally get KLM parked here, so let's have a little bit of the deboarding. British Airways, I think it's British Airways, nicely into finals, so we'll go there momentarily. Good morning, for it is still good morning here in the UK, to anyone that's just joined the show. I'm Mark, here live for you at Newcastle International Airport. Latest Foxy B. Have a great rest of the day. Hi to Jamie Miller. Sun is out here, Jamie. It's what we were saying on Facebook. You know, we both caught the sun, didn't we, on Friday? It's gone from horrible. See the difference there between blue and cloud? Well, all that manky cloud dominated the first part of the show. Blue skies directly overhead now. I'm loving it. Oh, there's another interesting overfly behind me. Can't quite tell if it's a quad or not. Air France on the move, so that'll be your next departure. So we're kind of into the last half hour of the stream, give or take. On pain of death, I absolutely have to take the kit to bits by 12 o'clock, so we might do a little bit of OT for that VistaJet if it is in by 12 or sooner. I do love a nice BizJet, as you know. At 3:40, I think, let me go for it, thanks Les, the sun might stop this. I think that might be this that I've been admiring out the corner of my eye. Very hard to get on it. I'm going to have to let it go in a minute because the sun is, as you can probably tell, I'll have a look at that when it passes the sun, if I remember. Ooh, I think we saw this plane in Edinburgh on Friday. I know they've probably got others with replaced rudders. I've got a strong idea that this was in Friday's Edinburgh show. Air France still got a fair bit of taxiway to do, so all good there. No, it most definitely isn't the retro hands. That's been and gone. Been and gone. Yeah, so I'm just looking at the chat about finish time. So 11:30 remains the intention, but I may steal a bit more time for the VistaJet if I think I can take a few bits to make sure I'm out of this field by 12 o'clock or thereabouts. Anyway, one thing at a time. If the planes aren't continuous, that's no good anyway. Good morning, John Kenneth Williams. Nice to have something to look forward to, isn't it? Oh, what's that there? Enter air. I've turned. So we'll stay alive to that. So let's just wedge there. Air France are just about to turn out onto the active. Good morning to Pro-Dio. How are you doing? I'm definitely good here. It sounds crackers, but since the sun came out, let's see if I can get on that 340. Just let me see if I've got a chance. Yeah, it is a 340 and all. See if it's a bit better without the sun. Lufthansa 340. Okay. Air France not hanging around for that. They're going. Quite right too. Okay, enter air on the move. There you go. Proof positive. Give me a chance to quickly catch up with the chat as best I can. No, not live every day. Pro-Dio. 2 shows a week, typically. Occasionally a third one if there's an exceptional reason, but that's the standard for us is 2 a week. 1 from Newcastle and 1 from Edinburgh. Today's a bit of a transposition really, because we'd normally be in Edinburgh on the Sunday and Newcastle in the week, whereas we were Edinburgh in the week and of course Newcastle for today. Oh, look at that. Looks a treat in the sunshine. So the Emirates 777, with this in the next 20 odd minutes. Good morning, Carl. Good morning. Hi to Paul Redden. Shifty, it's a Panasonic HC VX1. We're just in the process of evaluating a new camera, but currently this is what we're using. Oh, was that a 3? Then, oh, sorry, I must have missed the 330. Thank you, Steve Marchant. Emirates approaching Scarborough, or certainly was at 4 minutes past 11, so it'll be still there and abouts that postcode. Alibi, what can you draw from the idea that the clouds have cleared, now Pegasus has gone? I know. Well, I can't move the weather around, but I am enjoying it working for me once. Happy days. No worries, Shifty. It's not much of a walk from Callerton Parkway to this spot anyway, so when you next come spotting, I think it's a very gentle 15 minutes walk. In fact, it probably takes me 15 minutes carrying all my kit, so no doubt you'd do it in less. Alibi. I think there is 179 people in the chat that would disagree, but Mrs. PSA would definitely disagree. God bless her, just in case she's listening. So Hazel asked a question about next show. Next show was intended to be Wednesday next week, and I'm still expecting to do that. If I've understood Dopey Gorp correctly, he's interested in coming over on Friday, assuming he's not pulling my chain, in which case, if we do Wednesday, we may still do Friday as well. If Wednesday is a stand-up show, we'll take the bird in the hand and we'll definitely do it, because I can't know on Wednesday what flight radar will offer up for Friday. I can guess most of it, but because we're still on a winter timetable, you get these little gaps that aren't conducive to live streaming. So there's a few moving parts. So yes, Wednesday is still the plan. Could be a bonus show on the Friday and Edinburgh on the Sunday. Told you, kind of make this up as I go along. It's the dynamic nature of aviation. Enter air, not rushing off the stage, gives me a chance to say good morning and hi to Kenny Woodburn. How's tricks, Kenny? So good morning and welcome to everyone that is in the show. We're getting quite close to that back end of the morning. Please do drop us a like if you've yet to give us that love. It goes a long way. Emirates triple, not far out, 10 minutes or so. So if you like your 777s, we're going to get to see that good and close. Enter air on their way out to the place I can't pronounce. The one that sounds like it might be somewhere in Finland. Tekio or something. Sounds nice. Carl, I'm loving your Moxie. We were talking about bacon butties earlier in the show, and they are the perfect companion to a plane spotting experience. Plus on the upside, with a pot of tea, or if you are coffee, that's all good. That's what I fancy right now, actually. Ryanair pushing back. I'm assuming they're on their way back to Dublin. Yeah, Dublin. Runway check currently in operation. Got no plane now, have I? Hang on, they look like they are scaring the birds. Saw the smoke off that. Haven't seen the magnesium flash. Yeah, I couldn't get the flash. I have to be honest, I've not particularly noticed an excessive number of our feathered friends. Can't get my words out there. Good morning, Kevin Briggs. How you doing? Still no movement there. Oh, we're moving. See how that sunshine gives you the haze straight off. I mean, it's not t-shirt weather, it really ain't, but it is nice. Well, it's nice when you're wearing a Berghaus coat, 2 fleeces, football shirt, Under Armour. I can definitely vouch for it being quite toasty. Plane of the day, says Scottish Linda. It's definitely striking. Rab's got the Scotch broth on. That's a nice flourish as well. And we're rolling. Okay, Ryanair next to go, I think. They've not yet finished their pre-departure manoeuvrings. They have to push back. Somebody has been incredibly kind. I'm just going to try and open that up. Nick Gray, man, you've been too kind to us. It's always appreciated, but what can I say? Awesome support, buddy. Right, let's see if the fireworks are still up for it. Thank you, Nick. Really, really appreciate that. Here we go. Oh, here we go. Mega support. And who got? Let's see. JRP24, Steve Sedman, Ricardo Brill, I think that says. The sun is glaring on the screen now, so it's harder to read. Jacinta Higgins, Graham S61, welcome aboard everybody. Hopefully, if you're in the show, you'll be able to say hi and thanks to Nick. Hi to BQ as well. Yes, the heat of the sun in the winter is called apricity. It's a phenomena that I've only recently become aware of, but God do I love. I think when you spend a lot of time out at the airport, you just appreciate those moments. Look at the windsock, it's still west-southwesterly, but it's showing a lot more interest. It was in Sunday mode. According to METAR, it's still topping at about 9 knots. And that's pretty much line astern with the runway, so there's negligible crosswind activity. When I say negligible, I mean zero or next to zero. Good morning to Jim33. Yeah, Nick, there is such a thing as being too kind. We're just so appreciative of the support we get from you and our other supporters, and yeah, words never quite do it, but Are you still coming to Edinburgh in the summer, or did I dream that, or are you musing on it? Can't quite remember. Welcome back, Audrey McDonald. Emirates closing. Excellent, thanks Sam. "231 likes," says Michelle Johnson. Be fantastic if we could get north of 250 by show close. Awesome, awesome. Tony Rivers has worn out mutt face. I suppose that's where you have to reach for the Scooby snacks. Shane Smith confirming the Emirates triple at 5,325 feet, or that's where they were. I better get them up on flight radar actually. Better make ready. Make ready for make ready for the show heavy. Do I think a 350 A350 could do Newcastle? I'll throw that to the charts, but I think it could, because we can do the 747 here as well. Oops, not keeping up there. And hi to Matty Harrison. Okay, we are going to go with the show closing after the Emirates lands. I'm just looking at the action that ticks up towards 12 o'clock. It's all towards 12 o'clock, which kind of pushes me a bit too tight. So yeah, for the avoidance of doubt, I think we are nailed on for the 11:30 finish that we'd originally advertised. Even British Airways A319 departure, which is scheduled to go at 11:30, is going at 11:48. So there would be a gap in action, and I don't think it'll work for you guys, and it won't work for me either in terms of my time management, even with stretching it a bit. Good way to finish. Has the sun reached you now, Audrey? There's a lot of really filthy clouds going your way. It's not a bad day. I am only thinking about mowing the front lawn actually. Might do that tomorrow. No chance of getting on the back yet. Oh, got a little bit of draft off that. Okay, we can't be far off our inbound heavy. In fact, let me just pivot to the Dutchman, the Flying Dutchman. Boarding galore going on at the back. I'm going to do the thank yous now as well, folks. Shifty says, when is the Falcon coming? It's been and gone, my friend, been and gone. We are going to put out a separate clip of its arrival. I'm going to do the thank yous off cam at the minute. Let's have a look so that we can close down nice and orderly. So let's have a look. See, so in Finlay, celebrated 13 months with plain sailing aviation. Debbie, we've rejoined plain sailing aviation. Gators 1970 is a new member. Welcome support, new member joining our community. Mohawk Scotland very generously super chatted us. Also generous to a fault to us was Stephen Marchant with 5 gifted memberships and Nick Gray with 5 gifted memberships. You guys are just YouTube rock and roll. I can see the Emirates actually. So stand by for a big plane. Don't worry, Shifty. Look out for the, it will feature in a clip. I'm going to put a little compilation clip together. Members will see it first, but that will have the arrival of the BEA Retro, the Dassault FALCON and the Enter-Air 737-800. Robert says Air Canada about to go over. Oh yeah, I can see it. I don't think, crikey, that Emirates is, I'm going to stay with the Emirates. It's giving us early sight today. So we'll bring this show to a conclusion once this one goes to stand. Hope you're going to enjoy it. Hold on tight. And then whatever you're doing with the rest of Sunday, stay safe, have fun, you know, all of the above. And look forward to seeing you all on Wednesday as it stands back here at Newcastle. Do look out for the community post and thumbnail. Always best if you subscribe to the channel and you hit the notification bell. Then at least you can be definitely in the loop as to what we're up to, and if it suits you, it'll be great to be with you. Oh, what do you reckon, team? That was a belter. Dopey Gorp, you are a absolute legend. I have definitely seen your very generous Ko-fi donation to the channel. So, fireworks for you, my friend. We're having one more plane. It looks to me, crikey, if I kept up with this, KLM, I think, are literally going to push in the next few minutes. If they do, we'll do it. Helicopter action. But enough of that. More about that. So, just reaching my free hand for the fireworks for Dopey Gorp. There you go, buddy. Thank you. $247 likes. Anyone in the show yet to drop us a like? Do help us get to 250 for the close. That would be brilliant. We are in the close space. So how did the poll finish then? HGC says BEA plane of the day. I'm Falcon mate, Falcon Mark. So grateful if somebody could just confirm how it's finished. British Airways won the poll, says Andy P. 45%. Well, they were the bookies' favourites. Is this KLM actually going to move? Doors are closed. We'll just give it a few seconds. If it ain't happening, it ain't happening. $254. Thank you, Alibi 58. You've been a smashing group of friends. Thank you so much. That's for you. Welcome back, Alexandra Wood. Tony Rivers. There's definitely, this is a Pegasus free zone. I'm delighted to confirm. Right, unless my ears are deceiving me. No, they are deceiving me. AJ's in the house. I've just caught your entry, AJ. Hope all is good. Just hoping to catch this KLM departure, and then I'm going to collapse the kit and jog my way back, but I'm not sure this is moving as fast as I thought it was. We'll give him another couple of minutes. If it doesn't move, it's one for another day. So, Dopey Gorp with the final overall score. BEA 46%, Emirates 29. That surprised me actually. I thought the Falcon would come second. Enter Air 4%. Yeah, that was more left of centre. And Pegasus 100%. Well, I was hanging for that. I think that might be hanging for this to move by. So we've got a few minutes. I think we can do this. British Airways are going, and I think as soon as this moves past, I think KLM will be going too. Where are we now? 11:34. I think we're good. Morning, Warren Sanderson. So what? KLM is moving. This is the final plane of the show you were looking at. Looks treating the sunshine. $258 likes now. You guys are just pure rock and roll. Love you all. Alibi. We're going to have to look at this Pegasus tail fin emoji. I know Scottish Linda have got an alternative idea actually on Pegasus. I haven't said we'll adopt, but I think it's connected with the actual flying horse that they have on the winglet, on the end fence. I think it's an end fence, isn't it? Anyway, winglets, end fences. They've got the Pegasus on it apparently. So at the pace this is moving, interesting. I'm watching the clock carefully. Steve Becal asks, frequent destination from Newcastle, London Heathrow, my friend. I haven't got the numbers in my head, but I think we do 4 times a day at the minute. I know there's more knowledgeable souls than me in the chat. Yeah, it's definitely British Airways to London Heathrow. This is bizarre. You lot are as crackers as me. Robert D, Michelle Johnson and Hammy, and Yorkshire Biker, Scottish Linda, Dopey Gorp, and everybody else that's been tinkling that Pegasus emoji. Ooh, crikey, unbelievable. Thank you, Robert D. BA, 47 flights a week to headquarters. I've got a feeling the Chewy from Turin, the Chewy from Turin, may well get in before the KLM goes. Well, that really is a bonus move. If only that VistaJet had been a bit quicker, but it ain't. Right, we're moving. Ali by senior presiding judge, VAR chief, smashing that Pegasus emoji. It's good that it hasn't got any musical sounds. That one got up pretty steeply. Okay, Chewy on final approach. Wookie sound. KLM on the move. Right, that will be the final plane of the show. It's all falling into place in the usual haphazard fashion. It is one of my shows. So, I think it's been a pretty decent morning, folks. What do you reckon? I mean, we kind of got lucky with a few exceptional movements, but tell you what, I like doing this, so I'll do it again. Here we go. I was like looking at the bagatelle at the back of the Emirates. Still deboarding at the minute, but usually there's that big army of high vis bibs all the way up the staircase. Right, Chewy is next. KLM are taxiing just like they were at Schiphol, to be honest. Can I get on the plane before it wipes me out? Yeah! "265 likes," says Michelle Johnson. God bless everybody that's showed us that love and support. Inbound Chewy 737. Hot foot in from Turin. The penultimate plane of the show. Should be able to see the departing KLM towards the left hand side of the shot any minute now. There you go. I think by the time this vacates, the KLM departure will be spooling up to go, give or take the usual delay for politeness. See if we can get a wave, you never know. Or I did really know Knew it was going to be a no. So that's that. I'll cut the feed, folks, after the KLM departure overflies me. So I'll track it as it heads off to the blue yonder, and then I'll just hit the cut. So yeah, Suk order. In fact, thanks Rab. It's Wednesday, but watch the community posts, members ones in particular, because obviously it's about making sure that we've got enough content for you. If the action on Wednesday, as revealed by flight radar, doesn't stand up, then we'll do something different. Just can't wait for the summer timetable. I really can't. So here it is, folks, the final plane of our Sunday show. You've been great company, one and all. So, trying to get the shot in the right place and failing. See you soon, everybody. I'll just put the camera back on the tower. Can't believe I thought I could exit on that. See you Wednesday. Bye now.